All right, guys, so today we're going to be talking about Razer. Is she good? She's fun. But she's not. She is not top tier. But we're going to cover everything about Razer. She's actually an amazing hero. She's really, really cool. I don't know how much I'm going to use her because I myself am a kunai hater. A huge kunai hater. And there's lots of different ways that you can build this character, and we're going to go and cover a few of those here and teach you guys how to really, really make the most of this character and her crazy, crazy contribution to save the world. We'll even talk about how to get her, what kinds of weapons to use, what the perk loadout looks like, and just general tactics and strategies. All right, guys, if you like what we do here, please use our supporter creator code. It really helps us out. Like, it really allows us to keep on doing what we're doing and keep on making videos for you guys. So thank you guys so much for the support. Rock and roll. Okay, let's get right into it. Miss Razer. This is our battle breaker character. Now, she's pretty awesome. You get the little backpack. You get her awesome fancy clothing that she, clearly is confused about her attire. She just collected stuff from all over the place. She's like, oh, look at headphones. Bell collar, goggles, samurai gauntlet, frilly panties, stockings, whatever those shoes are with one wing on either side, and sandal-toed, don't even know. She's awesome, man. She looks really cool. She's crazy. It looks like she came right out of like an alternate dimension. She's rad. Okay, so this character comes from Battle Breakers. This is the new game that Epic just released on your. Well, I guess it's not just on your phones; it's also on PC as well. But I use this on my phone. You go to the App Store and you download Battle Breakers, and you get to level 20. If you get to level 20, you're going to unlock the legendary hero Razer for Save the World. She's awesome, man. She's actually really, really fun. She's cool. She's hard to use, because she's going to be really, really squishy. You could use her. You could potentially use her with with a Blast from the Past build. That's entirely possible. I didn't do that for this video. I wanted to showcase, just the maximum power of the kunai. Right, taking the kunai to the extreme, having for the first time ever a support squad loadout featuring 100% kunai. Right across the board. It made my life very, very miserable and very difficult, very challenging, but it was fun. It was fun, even though I was like super squishy, running around with like 100,000 shields and 200,000 health. Just a joke of a character, so weak. Man, this character can dish the damage. I loaded her up with some crazy kunai madness. And I used all of her abilities. She comes with Kunai Storm, Crescent Kick, and Smoke Bomb. Just a pretty cool combination of abilities. I actually used Crescent Kick a lot, surprisingly, and it did quite well. Because we've comboed it. It actually gets a damage bonus from my Ghoulish ability. I use the Smoke Bomb frequently. I can't tell you how many times I got into a position, looked down, aimed my shot, fired my kunai, and then you're helpless up in the air, so you can shoot. Or there's a few other things you can do, like when you're hovering up in the air, because of Lynx's 4-second hover effect from the kunai, she amps up your damage. So you can actually do some interesting things, like throw your smoke bomb straight down underneath you. It'll go all the way to the ground and explode, and do a bunch of damage to the enemies while you're like staring at them, watching them melt. Meanwhile, you can shoot down into them and do a bunch of damage. And alternatively, one of the strategies I really, really like using is to use the Black Blade to do your air charge, right? You can actually use the Black Blade to do a leaping attack, and it can pull you out of the sky mid hover. So you're hovering up in the sky, you can be like, cancel the hover and go straight, do a straight charge attack and smash something on the ground, which is really, really wonderful when there's blasters around, because if you're chilling up in the sky with blasters and gunslingers looking at you, you're just dead. This character has no health. You will get deleted like that. And if you and so being able to like pull yourself out of the sky and then hit them and then stun them, really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. It was nasty. I'm running this character at super low health all the time because of the support squad bonuses that I'm using. So it's you know, being able to synergize with the Black Blade was actually really cool. Crescent kick gets you that little mini stun, which works really good with the Black Blade because the Black Blade does a lot of impact. So you can like Black Blade into a crescent kick, which almost guaranteed like disables enemies, does a bunch of damage. You can one-shot kill a lot of stuff if you're at critical health because of the ghoulish bonus that we're running. And Smoke Bomb, yeah, it's just really good. It does a bunch of damage over time, slows the enemies down, which also makes you have this synergy with the Black Blade as well. You know, really effective. Kunai is just insane. With all of these Kunai characters, Kunai gets turned into this, you know, phenomenally cosmic powered, you know, murder tool with all these effects just puking out of your character. Every time you hit Kunai, you just see like so many things happening. It's amazing. So let's take a look at her here. We have the commander perk Crystal Daggers Plus. This makes it so that your Kunai Storm unleashes 12 crystal daggers which seek targets and deal 96 base damage. So this is amazing, right? It's a homing effect added onto the Kunai, which has trouble targeting specific areas, right? Because Kunai spreads out and has a tendency to do pitiful damage because it misses most of its shots. Maybe it only hits, you know, here, you know, misses some of those. Yeah, no, Crystal Daggers is like bop, 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 bop. You just see the golden daggers go straight in and just start hammering enemies. Really hilarious when there's only one enemy underneath you and all the daggers target that one guy doing, you know, some sick damage. Amazing. Really good for focus fire damage. Really good for wiping out waves of enemies. Whichever way you look at it, it's actually a legitimately awesome ability. I love the Crystal Daggers. In my opinion, it kind of rectifies one of the things that I hate most about the Kunai, and that's just the inconsistency. This gives you a huge amount of consistency with the output of this ability. So you're still going to have inconsistency built into your support squads, but at least the core commander perk is going to be powerful and reliable and consistent. Now, we're going to go into the support squads for her. I had a lot of trouble picking the team perk because I really didn't want to take the blast in the past. I wanted to like stay away from it. My two options for this was to go with Preemptive Strike, which gives you an increased damage bonus against full health enemies. So you get 6.5% for every single hero that's over 4 stars, which is, you know, obviously going to be all of mine. So you get a really huge damage bonus on that first hit. The first time an enemy gets hit and takes damage, you're going to smash, man. It's really good for burst. And since this character is largely about burst, I decided to go with the Preemptive Strike. I thought it actually did quite well. But there is another option. You know, you have a lot of different abilities on here that, you know, they're okay. They're pretty good, right? Dim Mac could have given me shield regeneration. I'm running with 4 ninjas, so it would have been 2.7% times 4 per second every time I killed something with a melee attack. And I did use melee a lot on this character, so that was a viable option. I could have went with Endless Shadow. That would have made it so that it increases the duration of my shadow stance. So if I would have killed something with my melee attack, I would have went into shadow form for 4 seconds times 4 ninjas, which would have been amazing, right? Running around with, you know, 16-second shadows would have made it very, you know, much harder to kill me because I would have been running with a lot higher armor. I would have been moving a lot faster. It would have been a good combo. Soaring Mantis is kind of irrelevant. The other one that I think would have been, you know, potentially really good was Bioenergy Source. This one allows you to recover your shields just equal to your energy cost. So this is for every hero with 3 or more stars. So that's all of my heroes. So 0.25% times 5 basically just means that when you use energy, you regenerate shields. So the more abilities you use, the more crescent kicks, the more kunais, the more smoke screens, the more shields you regenerate, which would just, you know, keep you healthy, keep you from getting killed. I didn't really think that one was going to be that great though, because mostly I'm not using my attacks retroactively. I'm using my attacks when I have full shields, and then I don't have them available to use when I have low shields. So I thought that one wouldn't have a lot of synergy with the style of play that I was using on this character. So I ended up going with Preemptive Strike. That was my choice. That's I just wanted to go with damage. It's pure damage. So now we've got Hang Time, Extermination, Kunai Collection, Kunaiolation, and Ghoulish Cackle. That was the loadout we went there. Hang Time is Link's Cassandra's ability that gives you a 4-second hover every time you do the Kunai Storm. In addition, it increases the damage by 40% during the hover. So you actually hover in the air and you do a bunch, you know, some pretty good bonus damage. Not too shabby. She's a solid character. Then with Extermination, this is Dashing Hair Ken's ability that gives you just eggs fly out of you when you do your kunai. Each egg does 111 base damage. So if the eggs happen to hit the target, then yeah, it's actually really strong. You know, 111 base damage is legit. Pretty solid damage. Kunai Collection is Overtaker Hero. He just makes it so that whenever you get an elimination, you decrease the Kunai Storm cooldown by 2 seconds. So if your Kunai Storm actually kills stuff, then you get to use the Kunai Storm again really quickly. So that's pretty cool, right? Just more Kunai Storms equals more opportunities to harness this crazy combination of abilities. Now, Kunaiolation is Bladestorm Enforcer's ability, and this one is it's very small, but it is relevant. It causes the daggers from Kunai Storm to explode shortly after the impact, dealing 4 base energy damage in a very small 0.25 tile radius. So your kunais all have like little mini explosions that do splash damage. So very small, but you know, more. Always more. Ghoulish Cackle is just god tier. This thing here gives you an extra 37.5% ability damage when you're critical. This is based on your missing health, so you have to be injured for this character to augment you. But in, you know, that's 37.5. I was running at critical health almost the entire game, and that means that Kunai Storm, Crescent Kick, and Smoke Bomb all get a massive damage bonus, and it was noticeable. Like, I felt powerful. Offensively, I felt terrifying. Defensively, I felt helpless. I had to be so on point with my builds, building crazy, you know, structures, throwing down my attacks, and then immediately trying to reposition myself and block. Trying to run away from bees was just a nightmare. Running with this low a health against bees, oh my god. I survived some insane blaster encounters only to have a single bee be like bzz, and I'm dead. I'm like, oh, come on, man, come on, you're killing me here, bro. You're killing me here. So that's it, guys. That's it. It is crazy. It is an amazing support loadout. We're gonna talk briefly about the weapons as well. I use some pretty nasty weapons. I wanted to use the black metal weapons, so I decided to rock out with the Black Blade. The Black Blade is an awesome weapon that gets massive damage bonuses when you are at critical health. And since I was running at critical health to augment the Ghoulish Cackle, yeah, the sword was a no-brainer. It just worked really well. Had great synergy with what I was doing. Even the heavy attack with the leap strike, you know, the leap attack was great, man. It augmented so well with my hover to pull me out of the sky and engage me hard and kind of save my life like over and over again. It really was a great engagement tool, and it just worked really good. I wanted to use a ranged weapon as well, and I also wanted to kind of stick with the black metal, so I decided to go with the brand new Dirge Song. I'm a big fan of the Dirge Song. I think it's probably the only good black metal weapon in the game. Well, black metal, you know, ranged weapon. And it did really good. When I was at critical damage really low, this thing melts super hard. You do your kunai kunai attack from above, you get your hover, and then you just rock off some shots into, if you're close enough to the blaster, you can just completely devastate. You got to be kind of close though, because the range is limited on this weapon. So if you're too high up, it's you're gonna have too much damage fall off for this to be really, really, truly effective. I also went with some non black metal weapons. I decided to go with the bundle bust because it augmented a major problem that this character was having, and that is just taking down the blasters. The blasters have too much health, and they knock you out of the sky. They're a huge threat. Really, blasters and gunslingers were the main problem that I would have. So the bundle buster was a really good fix for that problem. It completely shut down the blasters, allowed me to burst them out really, really quick, or even just hit them, causing them to stumble, stopping their laser barrage. So I was able to prevent myself from getting, bombarded on and killed before I had a chance to do anything. So the bundle bust worked really, really well. There's other weapons too, though. I ended up using the Pulsar 9000 because it's one of the most powerful shotguns in the game. This thing has such incredibly broken AoE capability. It's so strong up close. I would go and use my kunai attack, bombard into them, and then just like rock Pulsar shots down to clean up whatever didn't get killed or didn't get hit. And it was such a great combo ability that, yeah, it was just a match made in heaven. I wasn't even going to use this one, but my weapon actually broke mid game, and this was the one that it pulled out. And I'm like, man, talk about I don't think there's a character in the game that wouldn't be stronger putting this sci-fi shotgun putting it to work. This thing is just one of the most broken weapons ever made. One of the other weapons that I decided to use was also caused because my black blade ended up breaking on me. It got too low, so yeah, I was like, yeah, you know what? We'll just switch over to the Spectral Blade. Spectral Blade is an absolute monster. It's one of the most powerful weapons in all of the game's history, yeah, it worked like a charm. The combination of the insane offensive pressure and the great mobility with the heavy attack, I was able to reposition and engage quickly with the Spectral Slash. It worked fantastic. We devastated groups of enemies with this weapon so quickly. It was satisfying. It really augmented the offensive power. Like, really, this character is all about just ferocious offensive attacking. Like, you got to be so aggressive, and melee just works so well with that, right? You get in really, really close, and then you can actually use your kunai to just pop yourself up over top of their heads. And a lot of the enemy, like the blasters, are tall enough that even when you kunai up, you're actually in range to like physically melee them. And yeah, it's wild. It's wild using a good combination of ranged weapons and melee weapons to augment the assault of the kunai attack, which is super, super fun. And that's really what it comes down to, is this character is powerful, fun, very vulnerable. It's one of the squishiest characters you'll ever play. Zero survivability, maximum AoE offense, and really an entertaining loadout of skills and playstyles. I think you guys are pretty much guaranteed to have a blast, and it's really neat to see the kunai amplified to actually be worth something. It's really neat to see kunai actually be worth something. I've always wanted kunai to be a better ability, and it's weird that they had to add like 5 support squads to make it viable, but better to be viable in some way than not viable at all. So I love it. I had a blast, and if you guys want to get it, all you got to do is go play some Battle Breakers, get to level 20, and bam, you'll have your very own Razer Ninja for Save the World. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Ring that little bell for notifications. And as always, leave a comment down below. If there's any questions you have, if there's any videos you'd like me to create, make sure you speak up there. That is where I get most of my ideas for what people want to know about and what they're struggling with. And if you, if you want to contribute to the community, yeah, make a voice. Come say hi, share some love, tell me what you thought of the video, and leave me your comments and ideas. Alright guys, thank you so much for being a part of the VASH Corps. Thank you for having my back and watching my videos and supporting Save the World and this community. I love you guys, man. Thank you so much for making this career possible. And I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, yeah!